Audio Jungle.
Golden says PNP government would pay cabbies bus operators to transport rural students. President of the opposition People's National Party Mark Golden says under a future PNP government, his administration would pay some private taxi drivers and bus operators in exchange for them transporting school children in rural Jamaica. Golden made the pledge at a recent PNP meeting in Portland West, where the party's representative, Doreen Forbes Campbell, is seeking to unseat Jamaica Labour Party heavyweight Darrell Voss. Golden said the PNP will target the operators of Probox and AR Wagon motor vehicles for assistance if they agree to transport school children, as he articulated the PNP's plan to improve transportation for children in rural Jamaica. He intensified his criticism of the government's plan to, by September this year, bring in what Transport Minister Voss has described as over 100 safe and secure school buses with tracking devices in order to establish a rural transportation system. I see a MP coming out with him old bus plan. These old buses that he wants to see and say provide for the transportation solution for school children. Our solution is to empower the taxi drivers and bus drivers of Jamaica, so with a subsidy. So we will pay them so they can carry the pitney them, and we can start with 20,000 families. As an economic improve, we'll grow it, Golding stated. The PNP president provided further details of what he described as his plan for school children in rural Jamaica who face transportation woes. The transport operators, the private operators, them the commande who have them Probox and them AR wagon, they are to be beneficiaries of the money that going to run, Golding concluded. Golding also identified a depressed area of Portland West, known as Diamond, where he said the PNP planned to develop housing solution for up to 500 Jamaicans if it forms government. Golding said he has shown the area by the PNP aspirant in the constituency and the development idea came to him, where there is a swampland and dump up that land usable so we can use it for the 500 houses that we want to build for the people in Portland, Golding reasoned. Maurice Dixon tried opposition for false allegations against rural school bus system. Minister of Education Dana Maurice Dixon had tried the parliamentary opposition for what she described as baseless attacks and false allegations against the government's rural school bus system, for which Phase 1 will be rolled out starting September 2025. In a release on Sunday, Dixon said she is particularly disappointed by remarks from opposition leader Mark Golding, who used a political platform to disparage the buses as old and proposed that school children be transported by the local taxi man who have in Probox and AR Wagon. The minister says equally disappointed in opposition Senator Peter Bunting's false and baseless allegation that the buses are being brought into Jamaica to kill off the children. Senator Bunting reportedly stated them a buy you school bus to go kill half with school picking them. Minister Dixie emphasized that the buses are purpose-built for students' transportation and are held to international recognition safety standards. Similar model buses are currently utilized in the United States and Canada. These buses are manufactured in accordance with the safety specifications of the U.S. Department of Transportation, and they undergo a rigorous maintenance and inspection regime before and after arriving in Jamaica. Our students' safety is our foremost priority, Maris Dixon noted. She added, upon arrival, each bus undergoes a comprehensive inspection and fitness testing consistent with international best practices, and they have been serviced regularly to ensure continued reliability. The minister also highlighted that the buses will include modern features such as GPS tracking accessible by parents, speed limiters, onboard surveillance cameras, go-fencing, and cashless payment system, all designed to enhance security and convenience for both students and parents. I sincerely hope that we can move the conversation forward in a matter that puts students and their families first. The rural school bus system is a critical investment in equity and access, especially for children living in remote areas who often face difficulties in attending school regularly. Policies and programs must be grounded in facts. I hope the opposition can do the right thing and leave politics out of our children's needs. Senator Bunting must withdraw his false statement, Maurice Dixon stated. She said the government will not be distracted from implementing its plan to bring relief, comfort, and convenience to children in rural Jamaica. These children encounter transportation challenges on a daily basis. The system will also significantly reduce transportation costs which parents face, the minister added. Over 5,000 Jamaicans accessed legal aid last financial year. More than 5,000 Jamaicans received legal support from the Legal Aid Council (LAC) during the 2024-2025 fiscal year as the agency pushes to expand access to justice for vulnerable groups including inmates with mental illnesses. Over 2,000 persons were assigned due to counsel. More than 3,000 were assigned lawyers to represent them in criminal cases across the island, and will continue virtual and face-to-face consultations with several more persons, said Diana Watson, Executive Officer of LAC. A duty counsel is an attorney who represents individuals at police stations or lockups, ensuring immediate legal guidance during the early stages of detention. The 2024-2025 financial year ended on March 31. Currently, approximately 900 lawyers are in panel at the LAC. However, the council is actively seeking to grow that number to better serve all 14 parishes. We're always imploring lawyers to sign up with us. They just need to get in touch with us and complete an application form, submit their certification and their banking details. And we have an orientation exercise, and then they're due to impanel, Watson noted. So we encourage the attorneys to come in. We do want to have different lists, listing that various expertise. So we want more and more attorneys to join us, she added. A key priority for 2024-2025 period was supporting persons with mental illnesses who are caught in criminal justice system. 49 persons with mental illness were assigned impaneled attorneys, while the council monitored another 128 to ensure that there is a coordinated system to track the progress of their matter and by doing so uphold their rights, Watson noted. She highlighted a recent case review in the Supreme Court where, with assistance from the Office of Public Defender, two mentally ill inmates were successfully released. One is a real success story because in that case the defendant, he was able to be reunited with his children and he met his grandchildren for the first time, and the family, they were truly happy and grateful for that experience, she shared. Was to emphasize that importance of protecting the rights of mentally ill persons in custody, noting that some individuals had previously been left in the system without having their cases returned to court. We have been following up, working with the Department of Correctional Services to ensure that these persons are brought before the court within a reasonable time. If they didn't have a court date, we have the matters released, so this matter can be reviewed periodically, she added. Looking ahead to the 2025-2026 fiscal year, the Council will roll out training programs for empowering lawyers representing mentally ill clients. We will be commencing very soon with an in-person lecture, and this will be followed up with several lectures on Zoom. We want to be discussing with the attorneys, mental health services, the role of the psychiatrist, and the principles of therapeutic jurisprudence, Watson noted. School Street in Black River renamed in honor of pioneer lawmaker C.D. Wright. Black River St. Elizabeth celebrated the legacy of one of its most distinguished sons on Friday, July 4, with the official renaming of School Street to C.D. Wright Road. The ceremony was held by Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie. The event, which also marked the completion of a $10 million road rehabilitation project, honored the late Charles D. Wright, the first Member of Parliament for St. Elizabeth Southwestern constituency. Wright played a pivotal role in Jamaica's early political journey, including the movement towards independence. A pastor and nation builder, he left behind a lasting legacy through his contributions to the establishment of schools, housing schemes, and improved infrastructure across the breadbasket parish. Wright's unwavering dedication to the people distinguished him as a selfless servant who consistently made decisions in the nation's best interests. In a bid to further honor the pioneer, Mackenzie announced plans to elevate the recognition by requesting that St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation pass a resolution to redesignate C.D. Wright Road as C.D. Wright Boulevard. He also encouraged the citizens of St. Elizabeth to consider establishing additional commemorative initiatives to educate younger generation about Wright's contribution to the parish, particularly the parish capital, Black River. The current Member of Parliament for St. Elizabeth Southwestern, Floyd Green, noted that Wright was a monumental figure in Jamaica's political history. Green, who also served as Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, noted that Black River High School, originally established as part of Wright's vision, has undergone expansion, commenting the elimination of the shift system. The minister added that renaming of School Street served not only as a celebration of the past, but also a continuation of Wright's legacy and the government's ongoing commitment to national progress. Meanwhile, Mayor of Black River and Chairman of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, Councillor Richard Solomon, praised Wright's legacy of service, leadership, and compassion. He stated that the renaming of the street is not only a fitting tribute to Wright's enduring impact, but also a call to action for future generations to lead lives of purpose and service. For her part, Wright's granddaughter Alisa Simmet, an attorney based in the United States, expressed gratitude to the government and other officials for their efforts in honoring her grandfather's memory. She reflected on her childhood in Black River and underscored the importance of public service and community involvement, values she said her grandfather exemplified throughout his life. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.